If you're over 60 and quietly noticing that your body doesn't respond the way it used to, you're not alone. Many men find themselves waking up without that natural morning signal, feeling distant from a part of themselves they once took for granted. It's not just a physical change, it's a quiet erosion of confidence, a fading connection that can feel deeply personal. And the worst part is, most men think it's just part of aging, something inevitable, something they have to accept. But what if that's not true? What if the real reason for this gradual loss isn't aging, but something as simple and reversible as poor circulation down there? What if there were a way to gently restore blood flow, energy, and clarity? Starting with a habit as simple as what you eat in the morning in this story. I want to show you how one humble vegetable often forgotten at the bottom of the fridge might just be your body's quiet way of asking for help. It's not a miracle cure. It's a signal. A signal that your body still wants to respond, if only you give it the chance to do so. One of the most misunderstood changes that happens after 60 isn't about hormones, desire, or willpower. It's about blood flow more specifically. The gradual decline in circulation to the smallest blood vessels in your body, including those down there. As men age, their arteries naturally become stiffer, and the inner lining of those vessels, called the endothelium, loses its ability to expand and respond. That means less oxygen-rich blood reaches areas where it's most needed for energy, performance, and even confidence. What's even more surprising is that this process starts silently. Long before you notice anything obvious, you might feel a little slower, wake up without morning signals, or experience a subtle shift in how connected you feel to your body. And because the change is slow and quiet, many men ignore it until it becomes a source of frustration or even shame. But the truth is, this isn't something broken, it's something that needs support. Your circulatory system, like any other part of your body, responds to how you treat it. The good news, you can nourish it back to life. And it starts with understanding that this isn't a result of being too old, it's a result of not feeding your blood flow the way it needs after 60. You're not past your prime. Your prime just needs better fuel. What truly powers circulation isn't just the heart or the blood, it's a tiny invisible gas called nitric oxide. This compound acts like a messenger, telling your blood vessels when to open, how much to expand, and where to send oxygen-rich blood throughout your body, including down there. When you're young, your body produces nitric oxide efficiently. That's why everything feels more responsive. Your energy is quick to rise, and recovery seems effortless. But after 60, production of this gas can drop by up to 70%, according to research from Tufts University. That steep decline can lead to sluggish circulation, stiff arteries, and weaker responsiveness in areas you once felt strong. Think of nitric oxide as the spark that starts the engine. Without it, blood flow slows. With it, even the smallest vessels can open up and function like they used to. And here's something most men never hear: your body still can make nitric oxide, but only if you give it the right raw materials. It doesn't come in a pill or a shot. It comes from food. Real food. That's why the next part of our story focuses on one vegetable in particular that quietly feeds this system and helps men rediscover the vitality they thought they had lost. Of all the foods I've seen make a real difference in older men, Beetroot continues to surprise me the most. It's not flashy, it's not exotic, and it's definitely not something most men reach for at breakfast. But inside this deep red root is a powerful secret natural dietary nitrates, the very compound your body uses to create nitric oxide. When you eat beetroot, those nitrates start a chain reaction. Your mouth's friendly bacteria help convert them into nitrites. Then your digestive system turns those into nitric oxide, the gas that gently signals your blood vessels to open up. That means more oxygen-rich blood flowing exactly where your body needs it most, including down there. I've had patients in their late 60s tell me they began to feel more alert, more energetic, and more connected after just 1 week of starting their mornings with beet juice. It wasn't dramatic at first, but subtle things began to return. A sense of strength, a morning response, even small surges of confidence that had been missing for months. And, perhaps most importantly, beetroot isn't just about short-term improvement. It's helping repair the system that supports circulation in the long run. Rich in antioxidants, like betalains, beets also reduce inflammation in blood vessels and help protect your cardiovascular lining. For a man over 60, that means you're not just feeding function, you're restoring the foundation. What I love most is how accessible it is. No prescriptions, no complex plans, just one small, real food that speaks the language your body still understands. What you eat matters, but when you eat, it can make all the difference. Especially after 60. Your body follows rhythms, and in the morning, those rhythms are on your side. That's when testosterone levels are naturally higher. Your blood vessels are more responsive, and your digestive system is most efficient at absorbing nutrients. Eating or drinking beetroot during this window gives your body a head start. That means better conversion of nitrates into nitric oxide, and stronger, smoother blood flow down there. Some of my patients prefer roasted beet slices with a boiled egg. Others blend half a beet into a morning smoothie. And, for those short on time, a scoop of beetroot powder in warm water is a simple, effective option. But there's one important detail most men miss. Don't brush your teeth immediately before or after having beets. The bacteria on your tongue help start the nitrate conversion process. If you use mouthwash or brush too soon, you might block it entirely. That's why I often suggest eating first, then waiting at least 30 minutes before brushing. It sounds small, but it makes a real difference. Think of it like this: when you give your body the right ingredient at the right time, your circulation becomes your ally again. And when blood flows freely, you don't just feel better, you reconnect with the part of yourself that's been waiting quietly to come alive again. Most men think that adding something healthy to breakfast is enough, but what you remove matters just as much. Over the years, I've met patients who drank beet juice daily and still didn't feel much change. When we looked closer, their breakfast habits were quietly undoing the very progress we were trying to build. One common culprit is processed meats like bacon or sausage. These are loaded with sodium and preservatives that tighten blood vessels and slow circulation, especially down there. Another mistake: sugary pastries or white toast. These spike your blood sugar and trigger insulin swings that disrupt your hormone balance. And then there's too much coffee on an empty stomach. It may seem harmless, but it raises cortisol, your body's stress hormone, which constricts blood flow and increases tension. Together, these foods send the wrong message to your circulatory system, right when it's trying to open up. So instead, try pairing your morning beetroot with something simple: a boiled egg, a slice of avocado toast, or a small bowl of oats with nuts. These foods support nitric oxide production and nourish your blood vessels instead of working against them. It's not about giving up everything you love. It's about making space, removing what blocks your progress so the right habits have a chance to work. Because when your breakfast helps your body instead of hurting it, that's when things start to shift. Charles was 71 when he first sat across from me, a retired engineer from Ohio, soft-spoken and steady, but clearly weighed down by something he couldn't quite explain. "Doc," he said quietly, "I just don't feel like myself anymore." He wasn't talking about pain or illness. He was talking about a deeper shift, the slow loss of energy, responsiveness, and confidence that had crept into his mornings and quietly stolen something personal. Like many men, he assumed it was just aging, but after we talked, I encouraged him to try one small change every morning. Just one glass of fresh beet juice on an empty stomach. No sugar added, no pressure, no promises. Just a quiet experiment with his own body. After 10 days, Charles emailed me. "Something's happening." He wrote, "I don't know how to say it, but I feel awake again." Over the next 2 weeks, he noticed more: a natural response in the morning, a lighter step during his walk, a quiet shift in his posture when speaking to his wife. "I didn't expect this," he said. "It's not like I'm young again, but I'm not gone either. I'm back in my body." What struck me most wasn't just the physical change, it was the return of dignity. That quiet sense of wholeness that so many men lose when circulation down there starts to fade. Charles didn't take a supplement, didn't join a program. He simply listened to what his body was asking for and gave it something real in return. His story isn't rare, it's just rarely told, and it's proof that sometimes the smallest shifts done consistently can awaken parts of you that have been silent for far too long. When you support circulation, the benefits don't stop down there, they ripple outward to every system in your body. The same nitric oxide that opens blood vessels in the pelvic region also helps your heart pump more efficiently and your brain receive more oxygen. In fact, studies from Harvard have shown that diets rich in nitrate-containing vegetables like beets are associated with lower blood pressure, improved cognitive performance, and reduced inflammation in the vascular system. That means when you commit to this simple morning habit, you're not just addressing one issue, you're strengthening the foundation of your entire well-being. I've seen men report fewer headaches, steadier energy, and even better sleep within weeks of adding beets to their daily routine. And the science supports what they're feeling. Beetroot also contains antioxidants like betalains and essential minerals like potassium and magnesium, which help stabilize the nervous system and reduce oxidative stress in blood vessels. Over time, this leads to smoother circulation not only during moments of intimacy, but also during daily tasks: walking, climbing stairs, or simply waking up clear-headed. It's a reminder that true health doesn't come from chasing one result. It comes from feeding your body in a way that supports everything at once. And sometimes, it starts with something as small and powerful as a glass of beet juice. You've heard the science, the stories, and the simple steps. But more importantly, I hope you felt something else, a quiet sense of possibility. Because this journey is not just about nitric oxide or blood flow down there. It's about recognizing that your body, even after 60, is still responsive, still resilient, and still capable of change. Every time you choose a better breakfast, every time you listen to what your body truly needs, you're sending a message: I still matter. My health still matters. And trust me, your body hears it. This isn't about going back in time. It's about reconnecting with the part of you that's been quietly waiting to return. That starts with one habit, one morning, one glass of beet juice. From there, it builds. So I invite you, don't just watch this and move on. Try it. Start tomorrow. Stay consistent for a week. Then 2, notice the changes. If this message spoke to you, leave a comment below. Tell me what resonated. Or just type 1 if you're ready to give your body what it's asking for. And if you know someone who needs this reminder, share it. Because every man deserves to feel strong, connected, and alive again. Your next chapter doesn't begin someday. It begins with your next glass.